Hey everybody, how's it going? Man, I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's day's going well. And if you're outside, I hope you are staying hydrated because it's hot out there. Guys, I just got through mowing the grass and it's pretty daggum hot. Thankfully, we do have a breeze, but it's hot. So guys, we got quite a few parts in for the Mustang. We're gonna see if we can open them up and show you what we got and see if we can't get some of these parts put in this car. And guys, it is just like the lights. It's way past due. It's time to fire this thing up. It's time to get it back running, get it back moving. It's way past due. So let's get these parts unveiled in these boxes, show you what we got, and see if we can get them in this car. All right. Got a fan going. Hope it ain't too loud, guys. These parts here I've already showed you. Recovery tank, pinion. These parts here, power steering, radiator hoses. This one here. All right. It's the other power steering hose, and I don't know if you recall, but I ordered the wrong one last time. I ordered the one from the rack and pinion to the master cylinder, and that was actually the wrong one. I needed from the pump to the master cylinder. And you know, a lot of times Rock Auto gets a bad rap. I see a lot of people call them wrong auto. I'm sure they make mistakes. I've had pretty good luck with them, with Rock Auto. And I've had two things that were sent to me that was wrong. And just like that hose, both times it was my fault. So, you know, when you order aftermarket, you take a chance, you know, over the OEM parts, and sometimes the OEM parts is not available. But anyway, so that's the correct power steering hose. This here, pretty obvious what this is. This should be the radiator. Not that the other radiator was bad, but it was same age as the car. Yep, looks pretty good. The one thing that I wasn't crazy about, a little closer. The one thing that I wasn't crazy about with this radiator, and I did get a good bit of looking. This one's for an automatic. This is where your automatic lines would hook into on the transmission if you had an automatic. I don't know if most everybody's just decided, hey, because this radiator will fit either automatic or standard, they just started making the one radiator, because I mean, you don't have to use them. But I looked in a lot of places, and the only way I could find this radiator was with automatic. So did I search everywhere? No, but I searched Rock Auto, I searched a couple other places, and it's not that big a deal. I just would rather not have them, you know, because the factory radiator don't have them. It's not a tragedy. It's just I'd rather not have them. But the radiator looks good. Inlet and outlets. look to be in, just like the factory one. It looks good. So at this point, go ahead and get that fan off of that radiator and get it cleaned up. And heck, we'll get all this set in the car. All right, guys, been working on the Mustang a little bit, got a few parts on, and you would know we run into some trouble right after I bragged about Rock Auto. Hey, let me show you what's going on. All right, guys, we got our bottom radiator hose on, got it hooked to our new coolant recovery. Everything was going good until we got to the top radiator hose. So what the problem is, I'm not sure if this is the wrong hose or did Gates not build the hose long enough. It's similar, as you can see. I've got them laid out, but what happens is when you put this hose on, there's not enough hose to round the corner like this one. So when you start pulling this hose around to get it on, it puts a big old kink right here. So something's not right. I'm gonna have to do some investigating on this. Like I said, after I just got through bragging about how Rock Auto hadn't done me wrong, and you know, still don't mean Rock Auto done it. That's a Gates hose. Maybe the hose was built wrong. Doesn't matter. This is not gonna work. So I'm going to do some investigation here and see what we can come up with, and we'll get back at it. All right, guys. Hey, guys. Just real quick, I want to show you something on this car here, on this GT. This is something that can help everybody, no matter whether you have a Ford, a Dodge, a Toyota, whatever. Show you something that sometimes gets overlooked on these cars, especially when they get some miles on them. Can keep you from being on the side of the road and cost you a lot of money. Let me show you real quick. So guys, what I'm referring to, especially when the engine gets starts getting high mileage, every now and then you need to check your serpentine idler belts and tensioner pulleys. And you can see here, this car has 3 idlers and 1 tensioner. After your car starts getting some miles on it, you know, these things have bearings in them, so they get a lot of miles on them, just like the car. You want to check and make sure that they spin freely and they don't make a lot of noise. Now, these I don't know. I haven't talked to the owner. I don't know if he ever changed any of these out. I will be changing them out. Everything else has been changed out. These 2 here, they spin freely, but you can listen. They make a little noise, they spin freely, but check this guy out right here. Yeah, he don't spin free. This one here, this idler pulley, it's in danger of seizing up. I will be replacing all of these, but guys, this is something, no matter what kind of car or vehicle you have, Dodge, Ford, Chevrolet, these are things, once your engine starts getting some mileage on, that you need to check. And I realize if you have a front wheel drive and your engine's this way, it can be a little bit more difficult. But guys, those things right there can freeze up. They can throw your belt off, burn your belt off, or worse than that, they can cause your engine to overheat. Just something simple here, guys. Just remember, once you start getting a lot of miles on your car, these are some simple things to check. They don't cost a lot of money. So I know on my Dakota, every so often, I just change them out. And believe it or not, I did find one the last time I changed it out. I did find one just like that guy right there, starting to get tight. Anyways, guys, I just want to throw that on there because that's something that gets overlooked. A lot of people can look at the serpentine belt and see if it's fraying or cracking, but a lot of times those idler pulleys get left out of the equation, and they really need to be checked too. All right, guys. All right, guys. My uncle's got a situation over there. He's having to use his shop. And I really want to get this exhaust on. So I went ahead and jacked it up. And I'm going to put the exhaust on. Got the car on jack stands. All 4 jack stands. Got it secure. So anyways, not everybody has access to a lift. But when he's using it, you know, I have to do like everybody else, best I can. All right, guys. Whew, all right, guys. Man, that was a job. Getting that exhaust under there. When I took this apart, I had my uncle's lift. I had use of it. Man, that was a way easier job. But man, I could have waited. I could have used that lift. But man, I want to see if this car is going to fire up. Everything that we've done to it. I intentionally have the crankshaft trigger sensor unhooked because we changed the oil pump along with having the oil pump tube out. So all that, even though I primed the oil pump, I've got the engine full of oil. I filled up the transmission with the transmission fluid, but I intentionally have the crankshaft trigger unhooked so I can spin this engine over several times and get some oil pumped up through there before we try and start it. All right, guys. All right, guys. I know y'all can see this belt right here, but this belt, it's out of the way. It's not around the crankshaft. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't have the power steering pump back on. I'm going to try to hold off and do that when my uncle's rack is open. But we can fire this engine up without having the serpentine belt and all that. We'll see if it'll crank up. Let me turn this thing over and see if we can get some oil pressure built up. Rebuilt starter sounds pretty good. All right. Guys, I'm gonna pause it for a minute so I can get under there and I got to get under and get that crankshaft sensor, so it might take a minute to crawl under there, so I'm gonna pause it for a minute. All right, got that sensor plugged in, guys. Moment of truth. All right, guys, success. Man, she sounds quiet. All right. We won't let her run long because there's no water or nothing in there. All right. Woo, guys. This has been just like my lights. This has been way overdue. Way overdue. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut you off for just a minute. We're gonna get this thing shut off. But man, this is music to my ears, guys. Man, she's quiet. Sounds like we did a good job on the timing chain, tensioners, all of that. I'm gonna shut her down because I don't want her to get too hot. But I'm sure and glad we got this thing going, guys. Woo! All right. gonna shut her down. All right, guys. Whew. Got her shut down. Sounded good. I believe we're gonna have to change this AIC, auto air control. It was trying to do a little fast idle before we took it apart. It's even worse now. I suspect that thing's probably trying to stick, seeing how it's set up. You really need to go back on that. You really need to go back with a factory Motorcraft. They are the best. Pretty much anybody that's dealt with them, they'll tell you so. We'll deal with that when we get there. But yeah, guys, we're running. Woo! Man, I'm glad. Not seeing any drips, which of course we don't have no coolant, but we changed that rear main seal out and everything, so I'm just trying to look, mainly looking for oil. Don't see no oil nowhere, so that's a good sign. All right, guys, so here we are. We got it running. Still got a couple issues. I'll put the drive shaft back in it temporarily so I can take it over to my uncle's shop. I'd like to do that pinion on the rack and adjust the clutch and other things. Pretty sure that radiator hose we're dealing with, it's the wrong hose. We'll get that. And I want to order the idler pulleys and new belt. And I pretty much have her roadworthy there. So guys, we're getting it done from the lights to the 04 GT. I am finally getting off my keister. I'm sorry it took so long to get some of this stuff done. Nobody wanted it done faster and quicker than me. But I'm finally getting it done. I'm finally getting off my keister. We'll be doing some other things with the Cub Cadet. And like I said earlier, we got some events coming up. We'll be covering them. So, all right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it and jump off here. I want to thank you for all the subscribers. All of you that watch and like the videos, thank you very much. And if you like what we're doing here, like, subscribe, share. Hey, we're going to try to get better at this. So, all right, guys. Can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you, guys.